there, Lisa Starr back with another episode of StarCast. This is another on-the-road episode coming to you from Norway. Yes, the wilds of Norway. Well, not actually the wilds, just the suburbs of Oslo, but there's a lot of snow outside. I'm here exploring some sauna hotels, and the first destination is one that many professional listeners may have heard of. It's called The Well. I love the word The Well because it has to do with water and being well, and what better than a place to do both of those in than The Well. We're joined by Annette Usa, who is the Assistant General Manager of The Well. Annette and I met at the Healing Hotel Summit, I think, or a Global Wellness Summit or something a few years ago, and Annette was kind enough to invite me to visit The Well in person, so thank you for that. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, The Well intrigued me when I heard about it because it started as a day spa, a day facility, and it has an incredible hydrothermal area, multi-leveled pools, saunas, and it was so popular that they decided to build a hotel. And I said, that's so crazy. I never heard of that. I have to come check this place out. So, Annette, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the evolution of that, how it happened. When did the spa part first open?
So the spa first opened 2015, and the hotel opened like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So the spa was built as it is now.
Yep.
And the idea was people would drive out from Oslo because we're 15, 20 minutes from the city center.
Mm-hmm.
So people would come out and just spend the day. Was that how it worked?
Yeah.
And what happened that it got so popular? What drove that?
I think, first of all, this is not a very common type of spa in Norway. So it's so big. But if you go to Germany or other places in Europe, this is more common. So after a couple of years, also listening to the customers, what they needed and what they wanted, we realized that it would be really nice to be able to stay several days and nights as well, not just for the day.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about the physical facility of the spa portion. It's 3 levels, at least to the guest. I'm sure there's more than that. How many square meters? What does the facility comprised of?
The spa itself would be about 10,000 square meters.
So for American listeners, that's about 100,000 square feet.
And that's without the outdoor area as well, which has 2 jacuzzis, a warm pool, swimming pool, and the forest you can use. So the first floor has indoor pools, huge sauna area with I don't know how many saunas. Yeah.
6, 8, a lot of saunas and steam rooms and cold plunges, men's and women's locker rooms.
Warm pools, steam pools, lots of showers. Lounges, fireplace, and a small bar.
Right. And then we have the mezzanine level, just some seating and a library.
With 2 private lounges.
And then the 3rd floor has...
And treatment rooms.
Oh, the treatment rooms. How could we forget? So,
and the hammam.
And the spa is quite large, the treatment rooms. Yeah. How many are in there?
Like approximately 25 treatment beds. And then you have the hammam, which is also, it's a steam pool, a steam bath, a tepidarium, showers, and treatment beds as well. And the hammam relaxing lounge. And
a very nice retail area at the spa, carrying some big brands, Babor, Comfort Zone, Elemis. And you sell some of your loungewear and your swimwear. And then we've got the 3rd floor of the facility with a whole Japanese pavilion.
Yeah.
How would you describe that?
I would say, first of all, it's a department where you could close the door so you can keep it quiet. Also, we could have private events in there that would not disturb the other guests. There's a onsen, or a warm pool outside. There's showers. steam rooms, meditation sauna, Japanese sauna, and fireplace.
The fireplace lounge is lovely.
Yeah.
And then you've got
It's a relaxed room.
the walkways to go outside to the outdoor pools, which were at least this morning. There were 3 outdoor pools that were running.
We have the outdoor pool. We have a warm outdoor pool and 2 jacuzzis outside in the garden and the terrace.
Right. So how many people can come to the well for the spa facility on any given day? I have to say that I was here on yesterday, a Sunday, and there were literally a few hundred people out there. I did an Aufguss with at least 70 people. I mean, it seemed like all of Oslo was here enjoying themselves. But, what is your ideal capacity for that portion of the property?
With the 104 hotel rooms, we would have approximately 200 guests when it's full booked. And then we could do maybe another 500 more at the spa.
So the spa alone, before the hotel, just the pools and everything we've just described, could accommodate about 500 or 700?
We can have about 700-800. We have 900 lockers.
Okay.
But that would, of course, be very crowded.
Right.
So we'd like to keep it a little more quiet. And I would say about 600-700 is a maximum.
It's just so wonderful to see everyone enjoying themselves everyone's wearing robes and taking the waters in various ways and it's very egalitarian, everyone's having a good time together. So that all opened 2015. And then the hotel came, you said 2017? Did it open then or did you plan it then?
21.
21 it opened.
Well, it's almost 3 years now.
Okay. So how did you know how to size the hotel for the spa? That's a difficult. Usually we're sizing the spa to go with the hotel.
Well, we didn't, but I think we ended up on the very correct size. It needed to be smaller to make it more personal. And also we have lots of the leisure guests staying with us. And that's really comfortable. We do the meeting and the conference as well. But we have more of the private traveler.
Well, I've noticed that being here, everyone is in a robe. I love a hotel where you can check in and you don't even open your suitcase. You put on your robe and you eat in your robe and you just spend all your time that way relaxing, as people do. They're meant to do that. And it's very comfortable. It's well appointed, the colors. Can you speak to the art? The art in this property is all pictures of water or people in water, photographs, paintings. It's incredible collection.
The everything you can see from the art is from our owner Stein Erik Hagen. It's all his private collections, and he also chose many of them himself. So it's some more traditional art, it's some modern art, the sculpture, and he makes sure that he changes them every now and then to keep it new and fresh and exciting.
Well, it's a great feature because you don't often notice the art in a property, but the art here, when I got off the elevator, was this whole wall of photographs of people in water. And I thought, oh, that's so perfect. And it's just been repeated throughout the facility. Also, many nice books I noticed in the restaurant. Beautiful coffee table books just sitting around that you can dive into.
Also handpicked by our owner as well.
Really? That's so great.
He cares about the details. And I think it's really important. It also, lots of the books are about or by the artists.
Oh, right. A lot of design and architecture and that sort of thing. So when the facility first opened, you had the poolside cafes, but you didn't have a real food and beverage offering. Right?
Well, when the spa first opened, we had the brasserie, where you could now have both breakfast, lunch, and the dinner. We did also have the small bar by the pool in the first floor. And after that, we opened the poolside bar outside, which is really, we have a lot of traffic there during the summer.
I'd imagine.
And when we opened the hotel, we also opened the fine dining, the Japanese, the Asian fusion restaurant in the 8th floor, which is really, really nice.
So is there a focal point for the food in the main restaurant, the brasserie? I mean, it seems very healthy.
I think it's absolutely, you could choose to be healthy, but I would say maybe more balanced. You can choose, you can have your glass of wine, you can have the pizza, or you could have a really fresh salad and the juices.
And a nice piece of fish as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it seemed like a really, as you say, balance. You could find something for everyone here. So has the whole property grown the way it was anticipated, and what are the plans for the future here?
I would say when we opened in 2015, the whole product and the concept was so new to Norwegian. I think we spent quite a lot of time to explain what are we really doing. What is this product, and what's the culture, and what's the tradition and the history about using spa the way we do at the well?
Yes, let's talk about that for a minute, Annette, because people think of Scandinavia, I guess they think Finnish, sauna, I think we, at least Americans, assume that was always done up here, but that's not the case in Norway, right?
Well, at least not this way. I think we did the saunas for ages, and maybe even the cold showers or the
contrast therapy.
Yeah. But not the steam bath and the hammam and the rasul and all of these other traditions. So actually, I think for when you go to the spa, you could also see the Stan Erik's, the owner's choice of of his favorites from places around Europe, where the best spas or his favorites from the different spas he's been visiting in Germany, in the Netherlands, in Switzerland, and
Austria, probably.
Austria, of course, yeah.
So he brought those elements back here.
Yeah. And wanted to introduce this culture and these new traditions to Norway or Norwegian people as well.
So Norwegian people might have had a sauna at your home, but you didn't go to
it. Maybe in the cabin. So you go to the mountains, you do the sauna, and then you go snow bathing after.
Right. But you didn't have a place to go with a lot of people that you maybe didn't know, and a communal sort of bathing ritual. No. So that was very new to Norway.
And I still think it's pretty new, to be honest. I think that during COVID, I think changes happened. I think the community part is growing stronger, and how people use the spa, that you don't need to go to the gym, you don't need to be all quiet, and you don't need to meditate all day to enjoy the spa. It's also a social place. You can listen to music, you can read your book, you can go to rituals, and it's actually fun, social, nice thing to do.
So Norwegians are pretty outgoing people and outdoorsy. Did it take them a long time to catch on? It seems that they pretty quickly figured out how to use this kind of facility.
Yeah. And I would say that during COVID, where we had this extremely big change in how people spent their days, and a huge focus to take care of your own health. So during COVID, we actually stayed open for quite a long time. So we were the first places to shut down, but we were also one of the first places to reopen because people really needed this. So,
and if anything's going to kill a virus or a germ, it's a hot sauna, right?
Absolutely. And I think that was really a game changer to us. So we opened the hotel just after the last restrictions from COVID. And I think it was just like a couple of days after.
Wow, what timing.
So that was perfect to us. And after that, we are growing every day and every week. And
at the beginning, I guess most guests were local. They were Norwegian.
Yeah. So with how the world looks today, I must say we have much more international guests than ever.
Where are they coming from predominantly?
I would say all over, but we have lots of guests coming in from France, England, America, Germany, of course.
Well, what's next? Like what will happen here? Do you envision this property changing in any way or becoming larger or trying new things? What's on the horizon for the well?
I would say that we have quite many, or actually we have a lot of things that we can do better. I think we need to keep our position as making the trend, not just follow the trends. The biggest trend these days, I would say, is the cold water,
cold plunges.
Yeah, and the ice bucket challenges.
Yes,
that also after COVID is very, very popular. So I would say we have we can develop in all departments within F&B, within training, gym, meditation, concepts.
Well, I'm not sure how much better it can be because it's pretty great now, but I like the idea of that. Well, it's an ideal getaway. I wish I lived closer and could come one weekend a month, just come and spend a few days and enjoy the waters and the hospitality and the excellent food. It's a terrific property. So thank you again for having me and for coming on the show, Annette. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hi there. So still at Ferrisvad, and I have a really amazing guest today. While I was at Ferrisvad in Larvik, Norway, I was invited to participate in a Celtic sweat lodge. And I said, sure, of course. Why not? Never did that. I'm always up for new things. I didn't really realize what it was, to be honest. And then Lasse Eriksson, who invited me, started to send me little messages about it that made me say, what is this thing I've signed up for? Should I be worried? So I won't talk about it now, but we're going to talk to the person who creates it, who is the master of the show, although he's too humble to say so. His name is Tim Jago, and he is a Celtic sweat lodge enabler.
Yeah, enabler sounds good.
So thank you for joining us, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim lives in...
I live in Sweden, in Jämtland. It's about halfway up Sweden. I am British, so I came to Sweden in the late 80s. And I've been here ever since.
So, Celtic Sweat Lodge. Tim tells me he's one of about 10 people in the world that are able to do this work. And it is very involved, and I'm going to let him describe it, what happens, because you've got to build a sweat lodge and you have to have help. And so before we get into the logistics of it, let's talk about what drew you to this work.
So I was in a very difficult situation in my life. I was very young. So I was maybe 19 years old. And as a 19-year-old who was, basically in trouble in a way that was way over my head, I decided I was just going to run away. I had a childhood where I was quite used to being in nature, to living in the mountains, so I just decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run away to the mountains. And quite by accident, actually, I ended up in the garden of the people who became my teachers. Although I thought at the time, like I'm far away from everywhere, I'm miles away from everywhere. This is the wilderness. I'm out on my own. And I remember it was cold and it was rainy and the wind was blowing. And I was sitting there, like, under this tree, just trying to work out, what do I do next? How do I get warm? How can I start a fire? And then, for me, it was kind of magical. There was this little old lady standing there, but for her, she had just sort of seen me from their house and thought, what is that guy doing sitting in our garden? So she walked over and she just asked me, like, do you need help? I was very grateful at the time, so I just said, yes, yeah, I really could use some help.
Well, at least you admitted it. So many people are unable to say, yes, I need some help.
Yeah. And they ended up basically saying, well, you can stay here if you do some work for us, and we'll give you a place to sleep and you can eat. And I had no idea what a sweat lodge was. So I was working in their garden, chopping wood, doing these kind of simple, basic things for them. And then one day they just said, oh, we want you to build a fire. Okay, I can build a fire. And then after a while, people started showing up and they had stones with them. So they were, okay, let's put the stones on the fire. We did this, and we need you to help us cover this frame and make a tent. So I did that, and I'm just sort of innocently going along with whatever, because I'm only 19. I don't know much about the world. And then people start taking their clothes off, and as a 19-year-old, I was like, aha.
This is getting better.
We're going to get naked and get in a tent.
Sounds good.
It sounded really good. And then when I actually got in the tent and I found out that it was hot as hell, it was like, let me out. But my teachers were more strict than I am myself. So they were, no. And they made me stay in for a long time, really, until everybody else had gone. And it was just us, and we're sitting there, and basically they kept me in until I needed to be carried out. And they got some help, and they carried me out of the sweat lodge, and they sort of dumped me in a stream. And I remember lying in that stream, in that cold water, after being impossibly hot for such a long time, and looking up into the sky. And it was just one star shining really bright. I felt totally connected to that star. And then inside of me, there was a voice that just said, I'm home. And so after that, that's what I did.
So somehow these people, these teachers, recognized that this experience would be cathartic for you, but they probably didn't imagine it would become your life's work.
I think they did. I think they did. I mean, that's sort of the teaching, the training that they gave me was like, this is what you're going to do now. There are a few, there's a couple of, so one of the intentions that is central to the Celtic Sweat Lodge is the idea of actually waking people up out of this kind of fuzzy dream of life that most of us are living. And we use death as a way to do that, because that is, in the end, it's the ultimate confrontation.
And it's going to happen to all of us.
It is going to happen to all of us, and none of us know when, really. So having that confrontation, looking around and realizing, actually, yes, today could be my very last day. It could be the last day to make any kind of choices I want to make. It's the last day to communicate whatever I need to communicate. It's the last day to enjoy whatever I want to enjoy, or fix whatever needs to be fixed. It creates an urgency and an awakeness that actually changes people's lives. So that's one part of it, and that's maybe the most powerful part of it, bringing people into the awareness that we are mortal and we have a limited time, and none of us know how much time that is. So whatever we want to do, whatever we need to do, we better do now. And actually, it's maybe more important to stop and look around and really see where you are than to have plans for the future, or be putting your attention somewhere 5 years away, 10 years away, 50 years away. Like, now is what we have. Today is what we have. So that's part of it. And the other part, which I am finding more and more important these days, is to direct people's attention to the future that they are creating. And this is coming up more and more often now, especially as we're back into a time where armed conflict is increasing. to start to ask people to look at their own lives and what they're using them for. So most of us these days, at least in our Western culture, we are very preoccupied with ourselves. You know, most of the things that we do are about me. But one of the things of recognizing your own mortality is that you realize actually whatever I invest in me is going to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
That is undeniable. It doesn't matter how beautiful or wise or healthy or deep or rich or powerful I become. In the end, I'm going to end up in a box.
But that's hard for people to come to grips with, isn't it? And, you know, we know we'll die, but the reality of like looking around your house and saying, well, all of this doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it matters temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in the end result is going to be the same, whether you live in a cardboard shack or whether you live in the White House.
You're going to end up in a box
You're
or
going to end up in
the
a box.
ground in some way.
Yeah.
So, Tim, I mean, let's talk about the process of the lodge, because it's not that you just go and sit in there and these thoughts come to you, you know, and that's where you come in, your role as the guide and the MC, if you will, of the experience.
Yeah.
How does that unfold for someone who's attending?
So the first thing that we do before we even go into the lodge is we need to prepare. And part of that is the physical preparation, making sure that you're hydrated, making sure that you have eaten enough, but not too much, and that there's been space for the body to rest. But then we have to do the spiritual preparation,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually moving people out of the busyness of everyday life, finding a place to be quiet, and then focusing on immortality, getting them to realize this is going to be challenging, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be quite serious, and very, very useful. You know, in the best of worlds, it changes your life.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with the preparation, where I am setting the scene for what we're going to do. Once we actually get into the lodge, that whole process is designed to bring people into the emotional experience of what it's like to die. And it's very consciously designed. So you're in the dark. It is completely dark. And you're in the heat. And we talked the other day about how hot it can be in there. And as I said, I don't actually know. I've never measured it, but I guess somewhere it varies. As at the hottest, it's about 90 degrees, I would think. And
90 degrees Celsius, that is.
Also, yes, sorry for
Mm-hmm.
our American brothers and sisters. Celsius, yeah. So it is quite hot and challengingly hot. And also because we stay in there for such a long time.
Like how long is normal?
So for a beginner's lodge, which is kind of what we do here at Forest, 2.5 hours is about normal.
Mm-hmm.
If we're doing the full experience, 3 to 4 hours.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It is. And it's needed because as we are working through the process, so the process is guided by a story. It's guided by the story of a man who's meeting his own death.
Mm-hmm.
And the stages he goes through in meeting his own death, and the things he needs to let go of, the things that he needs to heal on that journey, to be able to have a real death. So as we are working with that process also, the heat is slowly building.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also the thing with the sweat lodge that is different maybe from a sauna. In a sauna, the heat is fairly constant. It will go up and down a little bit. But in a sweat lodge, there are waves where the heat is very intense and it goes down a bit. But every time it goes down a bit less.
Mm-hmm.
So after an hour or so, we are peaking at 90. And we will stay there as long as we can.
So, to be clear, Tim, you're in the sweat lodge with everyone. You're telling this story.
Yeah.
You're assisted by a firekeeper.
Yeah.
Who is bringing the hot stones from the fire as you ask for them and putting them in the pit. I mean, bringing them, I say, there's a very small door that you crawl through to get in the sweat lodge, and through that door is past a pitchfork with a very hot rock that gets put into the pit. We don't see the firekeeper, but I will say that when the door opened, we're like, oh, air, air. It's not a lot, but it's something. So you're guiding the story. You're guiding everyone. It goes on for 2.5, 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And then we are invited to exit and sit around the fire outside. Yeah. And is that to kind of bring people back to the present?
So there are different reasons. Sometimes I can see that people's energy is dropping. And I know if I'm going to be able to guide you through the next part of the ceremony, you need to get some energy back. So it's useful to go outside, to sit around the fire, to feel the air on your skin, mm-hmm. to refresh yourself a little bit. But it doesn't always happen. About half of the time, when we get to the end of the first round, we'll stay in the lodge. Mm. And that might be because I say, okay, I need to hold people's energy in one place. If we go out of the lodge now, they would go back into everyday world space. Mm. And then we have to do all of the work of bringing them into that awareness again. So a lot of it is about reading a group, knowing what do they need? Do they need refreshment? Do they need to come out and look at the night sky? Do they need that space of just being silent?
I don't know how you read a group in the room that's pitch black. I mean, I couldn't see who was next to me.
So there are a lot of things happening. You know, people are breathing, they're making sounds, their bodies are moving. There's an energetic experience going on. So all of that is available to me. And it's not quite as dark for me as it is for you, because I've had many years doing this.
Mm-hmm. How many years have you been doing it?
Well, I got permission to lead the lodge in the middle of the 90s, 95 maybe. Yeah.
Who gives permission?
My teacher.
Or they're not like an association or something?
They are not like an association, no. They are gone now, but they were two little old ladies who lived on a mountain. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I lived with them and trained with them for about 3 years. And then I started traveling, and they would recommend I go and spend time with this teacher, go and spend time with that teacher. And that went on for about another 9 years. And then one day they're like, okay, this is kind of your graduation assignment. So I was with another teacher at the time, and they're like, okay, you have to do this. And he has to agree on all of the aspects so that it was really well done. And so I did that, and in the end of that, they're like, okay, good, now
you're good to go.
You're good to go, yeah. Or your mistakes are your own mistakes. Mm-hmm. Was literally what they said. Mm-hmm.
So, Tim, you offer these Celtic sweat lodges. You told me many times a year. How many you do?
I think I'm about 36 ceremonies a year.
And you offer them wherever you're invited?
Pretty well, yeah, wherever I'm invited. Sometimes there are places that I've come back to many, many times, so we organize that as a usual thing. But yeah, wherever I'm invited, if it's possible.
Like you're here at Farspad for spring equinox?
Yeah.
And fall equinox, and that's a regular?
That's like been doing this year.
So if someone wanted to have this at their resort or property, how do they reach you?
That's a kind of a difficult thing.
That's why I'm asking. It doesn't seem like there's an easy way to do that.
There is not an easy way to do that. I mean, you can probably find me on Facebook. You can probably find somebody who knows me and knows my work. But I'm also a little different there, because I'm not really interested in expanding. Mm-hmm. This is not my business. It's not my career. So I'm not looking at it in that way.
Well, it is your life's calling.
It is my life's calling, but that's the calling part, like to have that space to listen and to see, like, where am I needed? Mm-hmm. Where is it time to go from here? So I actually try to avoid publicity and being publicly available. I am more interested in the people who need me, that they can find me. And then, I mean, since about a year ago, I have actively started accepting less invitations because I started to feel this is more than I can do, and I can keep a good level of quality in it and have the time and the energy to do the deep work.
Well, you have students yourself. You are passing this work on to, yes? How many students do you have at the time?
At the moment, 20. Yeah. So that's all. And about 7 of them are able to leave the lodge.
Okay. So you're doing your job and passing the story along.
Yeah. That's also part of recognizing your own death. It's like, okay, if all of my knowledge is in my head, when I die, it all disappears.
So, Tim, lastly, I want to address something that I think many audiences will find interesting, which is that you don't really charge for this.
No.
You just come from another country, set up a sweat lodge, perform in it multiple times in a week, as in this case, with your firekeeper.
Yeah.
And you do not ask the property for money.
No.
So how does that work?
Surprisingly well. So I think 10 years ago, I was trying to do it the other way. I was trying to go, this is the price for a thing like this. You know, I want this much per person. I need this much for firekeeper. I need this. So I looked at all of that, and it was hard work, and it wasn't really getting me the things that I needed. It wasn't like I wasn't finding the people who actually needed help. So then I just decided to go back to doing it traditionally, which is like, if you would like to give a gift, that's great. So now these days, if I'm traveling a long way, I will ask for covering my expenses and the costs that it takes me to travel. And I try to keep that as low as possible. And I mean, this is going to maybe sound a bit provocative, but so many of my friends are trying to build careers and incomes. But I see it has the opposite effect, that prices are getting higher and the market is getting more competitive and more intense, and more of the people who do the kind of work that I do in different fields, you know, yoga teachers, meditation teachers, all of these things, they're actually burning out. And I found myself approaching that place too. So I just decided, no, this is not actually my business. It's not supposed to support me financially. You know, it's okay for my costs to be covered. That's good. But I'm not going to become a millionaire doing this. And I'm actually happier not becoming a millionaire.
But you do end up with donations.
Yeah. And that varies. Like sometimes the donations will be way more than I expected or needed. Sometimes they will be less. Sometimes they will be just enough. But over a year, it works out. Yeah.
Well, Tim Jago, thank you for joining us. It's a fascinating story. I mean, I've been in the wellness industry for many decades, and I'd never come across something like this.
That's probably true, yes.
So I'm lucky to meet one of the 10 people in the world that performs this, and it was great to participate. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you.
So now I am with Rania Marie Fjelde. She is the Secretary General of Oslo Badstuforening. Yes. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Which is the Oslo Sauna Association. So I met Rania down by the water where there are some intriguing saunas we'll talk about. And I thought her story was really interesting and invited her to appear, which she graciously agreed to do. So thank you for being here with me, Rania.
Thank you.
So when I came to Oslo, I was told, oh, you have to go to the Oslo Sauna Association. And I didn't know that name Badstuforening was a thing, not a place. And I was dropped off by my driver at the side of the harbor. And there is what I can only say is an eclectic collection of little buildings on the water. And it's like, that's it? Okay, that's it. So I went in. And it's all these little saunas, and it's outside, and they all have ladders right into the fjord, right there across from the Oslo train station. Fascinating. And it turned out that there was more than one, and I was at the wrong one, and they said, no, you have to walk around the opera house to the other one, which I did, and there I met Rania. And if that's even possible, that collection of buildings is possibly even more rustic than the first collection. So when I chatted with Rania, I thought her story was so interesting. So Rania, I'm going to let you tell us how you got into this being Secretary General, like an executive director for us, of the Sauna Association, because that's not your background in work.
It's not, and it was not what I planned, but it became like that, and I'm super happy with it. But it all started with me being a part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Ice Bathing Club.
But wait, you worked in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
That's correct.
What kind of job did you have?
I worked at the communications department, and I also worked at United Nations in New York in different...
So that's like working for the State Department.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
So you're working in this government job.
Yeah.
How long were you there?
11 years.
11 years. Okay.
Yes. And they had this swimming club, swimming each Thursday at 8 a.m. in the morning. And it was a very nice crowd. We did that every Thursday.
And where did you swim?
At Tjuvholmen. It's very central in Oslo.
But not a pool?
Not a pool, just in the fjord.
So at 8 a.m. every Thursday year-round?
So it was freezing in the winter, like, minus 20 degrees in the air. Water is freezing. So it was like short dips. But then one day we saw this weird little corky building floating on the water, and it turned out it was a sauna built out of driftwood found in the fjord by these idealist anarchists. And we became friends, and they said, we do not have any permissions for this sauna. And we then teamed up and formed Oslo Basteforening, Oslo Sauna Association. So we, as like bureaucrats, diplomats, helped these anarchists to write applications.
That's so funny. Because they were lucky they met you guys who were in the government.
And we were lucky because we didn't have a sauna, so they had built this sweet little cozy sauna, and we wrote applications. Well, that was the start in 2016.
So how many of you were in the swimming group?
We were like 15 maybe, but I think like 5 or 4 were more serious. We joined the board in this new organization.
And you were one of those.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to make an association?
It was a good combination of the anarchists and the diplomats. No one of us had like any vision of having any profit on this. It was we just wanted people to have access to the fjord and swim and access to the sauna. So it was natural.
And the way it was situated is public access. So a person could walk up to the fjord or the sauna without barricades or going through a building.
That's true.
And that one was also in the water, but maybe a little further from where you are now?
Yes, it was floating around different places. Didn't have like any permission to stay. But we still have this sauna today. And we keep it very like proper, and it's very important for us because it was what it started with.
So was the purpose of making an association to be able to situate the sauna in a certain place? Like, was that what was driving your decision?
Not really. It was just a fun thing that we wanted more people to experience sauna because we loved it. I mean, it's amazing to swim in the fjord and being in the sauna, and we just wanted people to experience it. And we formed this association. We all worked for free. I was doing it partly on my job time and partly in the night. And yeah.
And what year was that? 2016?
2016. And then one person in the board applied just like a joke for 2 million kroners. I think it's about $200,000. just like a joke. And they called us and said, "We're really sorry, but you're just getting $100,000. So then we had to get serious. So then we had gotten this money to build the sauna, and we had like a competition between architects, and we got the more fancy sauna. And then we got more people, like families, old people, and more different crowds.
Was the fancy sauna also floating, or was it parked somewhere?
No, it's also floating with big windows and super fancy. So it gotten really good publicity and photos, and yeah. Everyone in Oslo then wanted to do sauna.
So now you've got 2 saunas.
Yes.
And 100,000 kroners.
Yeah.
Dollars rather. So what happened next? Like, how did you end up developing the sites as they are today?
It was just, I mean, it became so much to do then because everyone wanted to book the sauna.
Really? The demand really got there quickly.
Yes.
How did people hear about it?
I think it's in the media, photos, you know, it's very visual to swim.
Well, it is.
Yeah, cold fjord. And so everyone took some photos and put out on Instagram and whatnot. And it was so good energy and so many good people. So I just, okay, I'll do like a leave from my job. And I got 2 years. But I just, when the 2 years was done, it was a full-time job and super busy. So then I quit because followed my heart.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So you were able to do that also because you have a lot of members now.
Yes. Now we have 15,000 members.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. We had 250,000 visitors last year.
250,000 to those 2 saunas I visited?
No, not the 2. We have like 4 locations.
Okay.
18 saunas.
18 saunas, yes. We should say that the 2 locations, at least which I visited right in downtown, each have, I don't know, 6, 8 saunas.
8 was the Sukkerbiten, like their headquarter, and the one you went to first has 5 saunas.
Okay.
Yes.
And they all have little platforms and little changing areas, and it's very, very cute.
Very cute and unique and quirky, and it's very like outdoor experience.
Which is what Norwegians love.
They love it.
So you have members, they pay an annual membership fee. It's not a lot though, right?
It's like $30.
$30 US.
And then you get to use the saunas for, I think you pay, it's $10 each time, or you can buy this monthly pass to $45, and then you can come as much as you want. And we're open every day from 7 in the morning till 11 in the night.
And can you use the saunas if you're not a member?
Yes, you can. We have lots of tourists and other people. Costs a bit more, but not that much.
Of course.
I think we're the cheapest sauna in town. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So, Rania, were you so shocked at how this has all unfolded for you?
Kind of, yes. It was not planned, and if you said so like 10 years, 15 years ago, I would never have guessed that floating saunas would be such a success. But when I look at it now, like, why shouldn't it be? It's perfect. You get to be on the fjord, use the elements, be outside, be warm. And it's perfect for the climate here in Norway. Summers can also be cold.
Right.
Yes.
So what do you think has contributed to this booming interest in sauna as a communal activity? I mean, my understanding is that in Norway, people had saunas at their house. Like you went and had your sauna, just like in Finland, but it wasn't something you did in a group or in a big setting.
No, I mean, Norway had sauna, like a sauna culture a long time ago. The Vikings did sauna. We had some Finnish settlers at 1600 who did sauna and brought sauna culture. So it's like been a part of the culture, and people even had saunas at home. But it needed that social aspect to like boom. So now it's like a new social sauna wave, you can say.
I was fascinated that when I went, there was quite an array of people. There were couples, there were young ladies, there were girlfriends there.
Yeah.
2 young women came into the sauna with their mobile devices. I thought, don't they melt? But they were on their phones, and then they would go out and do their dip and come back in. And I just think it's such a great and healthy thing for people to be able to do now. An option that we never used to have.
Yeah.
Something to do with your friends that's fun, but it's healthy.
Yeah. And normally we recommend to like put your mobile phone outside.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people just can't stop blogging.
No, they just can't put it down. So how often do people come who are regulars?
I mean, we have one regular who has now come every day for 800 days.
Amazing.
Amazing, yes. He started during the pandemic, Corona, and then he just kept on going.
So you had received your grant before the pandemic, right? So how many locations did you have? Like, how far along was the association when the pandemic came?
Then we just had one location. But we actually used the pandemic very smart. We had to close down a bit. But we used the time to plan for new locations and build new saunas.
Have you gotten more grants, or are you able to fund your growth yourself now?
Now we're funding our growth ourselves, totally. So it was a good help with that first grant. It like kicked us off, and then now we fund ourselves.
Are there any issues around the water? I mean, it is a city harbor. There are ships across the way. I mean, do people ever say, oh, I don't know if I want to go in that water?
Yeah, some people say that, but we like take tests of the water, and it's very clean, except if it's heavy rain. Then it could be like a bit polluted for some hours, but it's mostly clean.
Well, it's so cold, you're not going to stay in there that long anyway.
And, you can take a shower when you get up.
Right.
Yeah. Or you can just take a shower. You don't need to jump into the fjord. But it's a part of the experience, so I would recommend it.
So what's next for Oslo Bachtuforning? Are you going to have more locations? What do you think?
Yes, we will have more locations. Our vision is sauna to the people. And still, it's a lot of people in Oslo that want to do sauna, but they can't do sauna. It's too far or something like that. So we're now looking into building saunas on every part of the city. We're also getting a universally designed floating sauna, which is for people with wheelchairs and other disabilities.
That's
so
amazing.
We can be more sauna to the people because now we're not for everyone. So that's...
Well, it's really an egalitarian approach to sauna, right? Because I've visited some lovely places here in Norway, but it might be $50 to get into the sauna for the day, and that pays for you for a whole year.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful that you've made it affordable and that people have responded by joining.
Yes. And now everything has become more expensive and, interests are high, but we have not seen any stop or lack in visitors. I think it's because the prices are low, so people still do it. They stop other things like buying expensive clothing or I don't know what, going out to party, but they still go to the sauna.
Well, you've made it so easy for them, and it really is a fun experience. So kudos to you and your team.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Rania.
Thank you.